Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Friday. Gonna get down on Friday. It is Friday, February 3rd. And we're live, baby. We got a lot to talk about today, including what's your plan with Netflix. Now, Netflix rolled out this whole password sharing thing today, according to Yahoo and a couple other sources. They're walking it back. But I want to talk about the whole Netflix situation for a few different reasons, because I want to talk about what we feel we are entitled to, what we feel we deserve, what we feel like is legit, like all of the Netflix questions that are running through my head. I'm sure you guys have them too. And then also, why is Kyrie such a fuck? I demand a trade, even though Kevin Durant's my best friend, and I am just, oh my God, Kyrie drives me fucking nuts, bro. Talk about that. Ben Affleck's new movie has a $7 million ad in the Super Bowl. I want to raise $300,000 to make a movie. He is a movie, not a Marvel movie, not a DC movie, not a Star Wars movie. Ben Affleck's movie has a $7 million ad spot in the Super Bowl. What the fuck? So we're going to talk about that. Plus, I'm going to get ready with you guys today, do my makeup, get my makeup on, and anything you guys want to talk about. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. It's going to be a full show today. I hope to hear from you guys. I also have some personal stuff to talk about. So we're going to run the gambit. We're doing entertainment news. We're talking about me. We're talking about you. We're taking Streamlabs. We're having conversations about entertainment. We're talking about sports, which I guess is a form of entertainment. Talking about our morals. We're talking about a lot here today, live at the Roxy. So thank you for being here with me. And like I said, we're doing our makeup. I forgot my clip. I had my clip in my hand and then somehow it didn't make it in here. All right, we'll just see if my hair will stay back by itself. See if I can get it in a little twist. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you've ever had long hair and tried to do this, it's kind of just like a makeshift, not real solution. Okay, that will do for now. So, also, I went to the screening of Your Place or Mine last night, the premiere for Netflix, the Ashton Kutcher, Reese Witherspoon movie, and I really liked it. Also, I don't think I've told you guys that I think I did on the World Roast, but that I saw Knock at the Cabin, which I also really liked. So you guys can ask me questions about those if you would like. Also, I watched the Pamela Anderson documentary on Netflix. Now, what I want to tell you guys about that is that I honestly feel like it is our duty I think we owe it to Pamela Anderson as a society to watch that documentary. It is her words on what happened, especially if you watch Pam and Tommy. I think it is your obligation to watch the Pamela Anderson doc. Just to know, I watched it and she did a great job with it. They did a great job with it, but more so, this is what she wants the world to know about her experience. And society has fucked a lot of people, but we fucked Pamela Anderson. I don't mean that like pun intended. Like we did her so dirty and you never get your life back. And we like took that from her in so many ways. And I think that it's so important to watch what it is that she wants all of us to know about her experience. I watched it yesterday, which was ironic, and I'll tell you guys why at the end of the video. But I just like my heart ached for her and for what happened with her. So anyway, I definitely recommend watching that. But all those three things that I saw this week, the rom-com, which I think comes out on Netflix next week, the M. Night Shyamalan movie, which is out in theaters now, and the Pam doc. I think they're all fucking worth your time. I know I'm usually the TV girl, but there are some movie picks for you guys. Speaking of Netflix, let's talk. So we all heard that Netflix was doing this thing where you had to connect to the home Wi-Fi every 31 days, which was going to make password sharing very difficult for anybody overseas, very difficult for anybody who is traveling or works for long periods of time elsewhere, very difficult for families that share passwords. It was going to be very challenging to kind of like, I don't want to say cheat the system because that's allowed with them, but to be on one account because you're going to attach to the Wi-Fi. And additionally, there were some new tiers. The way the tiers were working and the devices were working was going to be a little strange. Now, according to this Yahoo article, and again, okay, so this originally came from Streamable, from a Netflix spokesperson. The company is alleging that those rules only apply to account holders in Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru, and that they went live in other countries by mistake. The quote is, for a brief time yesterday, a Help Center article containing information that is only applicable to Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru went live in other countries. We've since updated it. Those rules, which have been posted on Netflix website, have been removed according to the publication. Now, this was after extreme backlash about what's going on. If you guys were not on Twitter yesterday, Twitter was fucking pissed. Twitter was pissed about this for Netflix. And for just to tell you guys my personal Netflix, what I do, I'm on my brother's Netflix account. My sister's on my brother's Netflix account. My brother and his wife, and my brother's best friend is on that account. So there's the four of us. We all have our names on there, whatever it is. And he pays for the one that's like multiple devices can watch at the same time. So we all use that account. I know a lot of you guys do the same thing. Maybe your parents, you're on your parents' account. Maybe your parents are on your account. Maybe your friends are on your account. That's something we've been doing for a long time. If Netflix started tomorrow as the first streaming service ever, and it was the rules that just the whole way that it rolled out was one account per device or one account per user, I don't know that people would be as up in arms about this, but it feels like they're asking for more money to take away something from us, which obviously people are never going to be happy about. So I don't know what they were expecting when essentially what they said was, hey, all you people out there who get Netflix for free, or all you families who only pay for the family and not all the individuals pay, you guys are going to lose those privileges. And then people were pissed. And then it seems like they were like, oh, no, not all of you, just in a couple countries. So then I have follow-up questions about that, right? Like, first of all, why the fuck is this happening to Costa Rica and Chile and Peru? What the fuck? Like, they're like, it's only in these countries. Why? What the fuck did they do to deserve that? Like, I don't feel better about it that it's just like, they're just like, well, it's not in America. And it's like, I guess that's good for my wallet, but like, why are you doing this to these other countries? That doesn't really quite make sense to me. I don't get it. But additionally, I do feel like sometimes I feel like I have to check myself before I wreck myself, because I'm like, okay, Rox, why do you feel entitled to all of Netflix's to watch everything on Netflix for free? You haven't been paying for that for years. You've been on your brother's account. Why do you feel entitled to all that content for free? So I'm like, okay, is it that I do feel entitled and do I need to check myself? Or is it that they've given it to us for so long and now they're taking it away from us and not adding anything for us? Like, it's not like there's new services they're promising if you pay for it yourself that sound exciting and fun. And I do feel like I'm just with the people on this one. I just think this was a really not great business move to take away, add nothing, especially when we're in a fucking recession. Also, the 31 every 31 days thing is really difficult for people who do travel. I saw that, I think it was Justice Smith that posted out like, so if I take another job for Netflix, but then I'm on the road for 2 months, am I not able to use my own Netflix? And apparently there's this thing with Netflix that they were going to do where it's like if you're gone for more than a month, you can request a 7-day password. But what about the people who like, as we've seen this year, people who travel for like months at a time, people who work in different locations or are shooting for months at a time, people who just aren't home a lot, like it, or people in like messed up situations that can't go home, whatever it is. I know it's not the Netflix isn't the biggest deal in the world, but way to just alienate people and not offer them something. It just doesn't feel smart. And now instead of being like, okay, we heard you guys, we won't do this. They're like, oh, it's only a couple countries. That was incorrect information. And I'm like, what really happened here? What was the breakdown of this situation? So what is your guys' plan if this does end up happening with Netflix, which right now it seems like it might not, or it might get pushed, or it might not be in your country? But if this does happen with Netflix, are you planning on paying for Netflix? Do you already pay for Netflix? I feel like if I was taken off of my brother's account, I would definitely start paying for it. And I know that's exactly what they want. And that's exactly what I shouldn't do. We should try to hit them where it hurts to show them that they made the wrong choice. But like people who are like, Netflix has seriously gone downhill. I don't even watch anything on Netflix. I don't feel that way. I watch fucking everything on Netflix. I just told you guys I went to a Netflix premiere for that movie last night, Your Place or Mine. I just watched the Pamela Anderson doc on Netflix. I think they do a great job with most of their docs, actually. I watch all the stand-up comedy on Netflix. Let's see, this year alone, I've watched The Circle on Netflix. I've watched Don't Pick Up the Phone. I watched, oh, maybe that was HBO. I don't remember. I watched Madoff, The Monster of Wall Street. I watched that 90s show. I watched Ginny and Georgia. I watched, this is just this year. Last year, let's go into all the things I watched on Netflix last year. Stranger Things being one of the biggest shows of the fucking year, but okay. Last year, I watched Ozark on Netflix, one of my favorite shows of the year. I watched, Inventing Anna, was that Netflix? Either that or The Dropout was. I think it was Inventing Anna that was. I watched, um, let's see, a lot of these, man. Love is Blind. I watched Genius, which I don't feel fucking good about watching, but I'm trying to understand who this fucking person is that's so anti-Semitic and where that came from. I watched Bad Vegan, another doc that I thought was fucking great. I watched The Woman in the House Across the Street, which I really liked. I watched Too Hot to Handle. They really corner the market on reality TV. That is just fucking bomb.com. Can't live without it. Obsessed. I watched, where's Bridgerton? That's not Netflix, right? It's Shonda, so maybe. I watched Grace and Frankie, obsessed with that show. I watched The Circle. I watched Working Moms, which is originally Canada, but then on Netflix for us. I watched, holy shit, it's so many things, guys. Stranger Things. I watched, wow, like all the shit that I watch. Boo Bitch, which was so good. Yeah, like just hit after hit after hit. Never Have I Ever, which I fucking adore. All of these, and I'm not even halfway through the things that I watched. All of the Midnight Mass, Midnight Club, all of his stuff I watched. I watched Better Things, which was initially FX. Oh no, that's Hulu. See, it's hard to even remember where things are. The Crown, so fucking good. The Mole, also excellent. Tons of stuff. Just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of shit. Cena says, what is Boo Bitch? Cena, you will love Boo Bitch. It is so good. Boo Bitch is a show on Netflix that was fucking excellent. Lana Condor and somebody else famous. It's like a high school show where one of them dies but then their body is still there and they're going. It's like a coming of age. Really, really good. Funny, little spooky, dope coming of age show. It's just excellent. And so I watch so much stuff on Netflix. I don't want to not have Netflix. So I would just fucking pay for it. But like Should I be paying for it? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. I want to hear from you. I'm going to go into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. What are your thoughts on this Netflix situation? Are we entitled to have Netflix from everybody being on one account? Because that's what we've always had. Is it okay for them to change it? If they changed it, what would you end up doing with it? In the Streamlabs, Joseph Ashley says, it's February, which means I'm going to die lonely inside eating Oreos on Valentine's Day. Any good TV recommendations for Black History Month and Valentine's Day? Also, if you're at Hollywood Reporter Roundtable of Stars to have a discussion, who's at your table? Great things to say, Joseph. You're not going to die lonely eating Oreos if that's not what you want. On Valentine's Day, that might be the case. I don't know what I'm doing on Valentine's Day. It's a day of love, so I suggest spending it like talking to people that you love, family, friends, anybody, watching things about love. You guys know I'm a lover of love, a shipper of ships. And Valentine's Day can be really fucking difficult. I've been single for a lot of Valentine's days. I don't know what my deal is yet this year. I haven't talked to Canada about it. Hopefully things continue to go well and maybe I see him for Valentine's Day. I literally cannot think about him without. Okay, whatever. That's enough on that for now. It's enough on that for now. But I've been so alone for so long, and even like, I don't know if I've ever even told you guys this story, but my ex-boyfriend, who like I feel like I end up talking about a lot of the bad things on the show about him because a lot of times they're more relevant. There were some really beautiful times with him, and there was actually one Valentine's Day that was really beautiful with him that I was really grateful for early on. But the last year we were together for Valentine's Day, or the second to last year or something, he was gone in a different city, in a different state, and I was home. And things were rocky, but he had fucked something up and whatever. I was waiting to hear from him that day. And it gets to be like 10 o'clock at night and I haven't heard from him. No flowers, no chocolate, no phone call, no card. And this was my boyfriend. And I called him. It's like 10 or something. And I was like, hey, happy Valentine's Day. And he was like, said something along the lines of like, yeah, happy Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh, I was like a little surprised I didn't hear from you today. He said something like, yeah, I guess that like is a awakening for me about how I actually feel about you. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, I think if you really like somebody, then obviously you do something for Valentine's Day. And like, I didn't do anything for you. And I remember like, it was just so nonchalant and shit. And I remember just feeling like, okay, well, hope you have a good trip. And just being so fucking sad about it because it's just like ice cold after like, it was like year 5 or 6. And it was just fucking gutting. And the reason I bring that up is because I used to think that being alone on Valentine's Day or single on Valentine's Day is the worst thing. But it's not the worst thing. Being with the wrong person on Valentine's Day is the worst thing. Because then you feel lonelier than ever. And for anybody who is alone and struggling, I'm not trying to say that isn't tough, because I still am alone, like I've just started to, like, I've just been dating people. So like you guys, I'm still trying to figure this the fuck out. But the point is not to like disparage him at all. And that was probably ended up being true. He's probably speaking, like, the way he said it was kind of to hurt me, I think. But I I think that at the end of the day, all those things are good that he said, because it just makes me know that that was not my person. And so it's easier to know that when somebody was like so mean to you. Um, and so to everybody else, I just want to remind you that if you are single and sad on Valentine's Day, maybe you're single and fucking happy on Valentine's Day, which is great, and you love you. If you are single and sad on Valentine's Day, that's okay. That you genuinely, trust me, you're doing much better than the people who are in the wrong relationship on Valentine's Day. That's where you don't want to fucking be. And if you are in the wrong relationship on Valentine's Day and this is ringing true to you, start questioning, is this the right relationship? Do I need to get out of this? And what is the safest and best way to do that? So ever since I was with the wrong person on Valentine's Day, I genuinely on Valentine's Day, even when I'm single as a Pringle, sometimes I'll be like watching movies and I'm like, oh, bummer. But it's really fucking okay. Because as long as you're happy with yourself, if you like yourself, if you're working on yourself, if you love yourself, if you enjoy your own company, then that's so much more solid than having to deal with like somebody who's not your person. So anyway, maybe that's helpful to some of you guys out there. Yeah. Okay, didn't know I was going to go off on that tangent based on this Netflix thing. Going into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Joseph also asked me who was going to be at my round table and if I had recommendations, neither of which question I answered. TV recommendations. I always like what Modern Family did for Valentine's Day. I thought those episodes were really fun. Let's see, this year so far, my favorite shows of the year so far have been Abbott Elementary. I mean, I don't know that I'm the best person to recommend shows for Black History Month. If all that qualifies to be a show to recommend for Black History Month is that a lot of Black people work on the show or in the show, then Abbott Elementary is for sure what you should be watching. Also, it is a show about love. Not only about love, but I love the love storyline on the show. And any other things that I've watched this year, there's a lot of love stuff in that 90s show. I think it's okay. I really like How I Met Your Father, even though some people are hating it. I'm loving the show Shrinking, which is that new Apple TV Plus show with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel. Really good. So those are some of my recs right now. And who would be at the table? What's the premise of who gets to be at the table? Tell me more. Let me know more. Mike Joyce in the house. He says, you seeing 80 for Brady this weekend? That seems like your kind of movie. It definitely is my kind of movie. I love Lily Tomlin. I love Jane Fonda. I love fucking Brady. I missed both screenings of this, which I was so sad about because one of the screenings was like a mimosas thing, and I really would have loved to go. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it this weekend, but I'm definitely going to see it. John Lestrina in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer said, next Friday, Fast X trailer. Mark your World Girls calendar. Limited quantity available at theworldgirls.com. EP, baby. Steven Summers says, I think it's a dick move by Netflix. And hopefully, big support, Steven. Thank you so much. These dick move by Netflix, and hopefully public backlash will make them backtrack, as it seems like they have. People need to understand that if you want people to spend more money on products, then wages need to be higher for the working class. See, it's such a valid point. It's like more about where the economy is right now, too. It's just so crazy to me that, like, we are in a fucking recession and all of a sudden people are like, you know what we should do in this recession? Raise the fucking prices on all of the food, raise the prices on all the streaming services. Like, how are we supposed to live right now? It's just really fucking hard. So, um, yeah, it's just really fucking hard. And I do think Netflix is walking it back. Um, if they want to make everybody pay for their own account, they're gonna have to offer something. They're gonna have to offer something. Like there's a new kind of you get different additional streaming privilege, whatever. Like they're just not giving you anything. So that's just highly difficult when you're just not giving you, they're saying, we want more from you and we're not going to give you one thing more. It's like, well, we don't want that, obviously. Like the fact that Netflix seemingly was caught off guard by people's response was like, did you think people were going to be like, hoorah, take our money? Nobody wants that. And I guarantee you a lot of their shit is going to get jacked now. If they do roll this out, people will decide they don't want to pay for it. They do want to watch it and they are going to fucking pirate it, which I don't do often. I really try not to pirate things because I am a creator and I think that like it's just not the right move, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. I mean, it's the same thing. I don't love fast fashion, but like girl ain't made from fucking money. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to look fly and have the best water cooler conversations. Austin Kramer in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, fortunately, I pay for all the streaming services and my family members just use my account, so this won't affect me much. But I do feel bad for my family members that will have to make that decision. Yeah. So I don't pay for, this is so bad. I pay for a lot of stuff for like my siblings and that are not streaming related or for my friends and shit. I like to think of myself a very generous person, but I do not pay for, I use my sister's Hulu. I use my brother's Disney and Netflix. I use Darina's Paramount. I use Steph's Apple. Like, I'm really like working off the people. Really working off the people. I use my brother's Amazon. If I had to start paying for all of that, I go broke. How can anybody afford to do that? Also, these companies want me to review their shit, then you got to give it to me for free because I can't pay for that shit. See, it says, bro, I don't pay for shit. LOL. I feel you, girl. I feel you. Erica in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer said, sorry, this is TMI, but have you and Canada had your first time yet? Or is it too soon? Is there even such thing as too soon? Good question, Erica. And to answer the second part of your question first, I really, truly don't believe in too soon as a blanket statement. Like, if you're ready to have sex with somebody the first time you meet them and they're also ready to have sex with you, then you guys should have sex. I like don't subscribe to any kind of you have to wait till the third date. That's the rules. If you sleep with them on the first date, they won't like you. Like, I think all of that is fucking bullshit. There's one thing that matters, and it's consent. And if you both consent and both want to do something, you should do something. Period. So I don't want this to get I don't want this next part when I say this next thing to contradict what I just said. That is what I believe. Like, period. If you are ready, if you're both ready and you both consent and you both want to, there is no too soon. I have friends who have been married for years, who had slept together on the first night, and I have friends who've been married for years who waited until they were married. So like there just is no rhyme or reason to if you wait till this, then this thing is this. Okay, period. For me personally, I am a slow bitch because I feel like for me, it takes a lot for me to open up to anybody mentally, physically, emotionally, like anything. It like takes so much for me to do that that I have a hard time being ready for a while. It's just I'm slow. And that doesn't work for some people. And if it doesn't work for them, then they leave. And that's good to know too. Because if you're gonna walk away because I haven't had sex with you quick enough, then fuck you. Um, and yeah, Sienna says, doesn't your head get kind of cloudy? I don't have that issue because I usually wait so long. But it definitely does for some people get you more attached, a little cloudier. You think different. It's also really scary to have sex with somebody because you don't know their medical history, like, and of course, you can be as safe as you can. You can be on birth control, you can use a condom, but condoms break all the time. And like, things happen. So until I feel comfortable with somebody asking all of those questions, if I'm not ready to ask them, can I see, or when was your last STD or STI screening? If I'm not comfortable asking them those things, then I know I'm not ready to have sex with them because if you can't ask those questions, then I don't know that you're ready. So, that, and then something I've learned recently, which is making me hesitant to answer the first part of your question, is that um, if it's somebody that I think that we're going somewhere, I do need to take their opinions into account because if I don't know what happens with this guy, but at some point you guys might know who he is. So like I don't, or maybe not, but I don't want to divulge something that maybe he doesn't want me to divulge about him. But I will give you about the people who haven't worked out. I can tell you how long it took me to sleep with them. So let's go through. This year, last year, there was this guy that we called, I think we nicknamed him Bee Sting. And we went on, I think, 10 dates before we slept together. So that was a while. It was a couple of months. But then there was the other person that from last year, you guys remember, which was way faster than that because I knew that it wasn't like my person. So I was just like, okay, let's just have fun. Maybe hopefully that helps with your question. Yeah, Mike, that the beasting one is the one who forgot that my mom died. And then we slept together and then he forgot my mom died. And I was like, ugh. Bummer. Okay. Moving forward, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Hopefully that helped Erica. Let's see. I think Andrew told me that he sent me a super chat, which I'm glad this time he reminded me because I don't know that I saw it. So here we go. Happy Friday, beautiful Roxy. So Ben Affleck is promoting 2 movies on the Super Bowl since The Flash is getting a Super Bowl ad. I wouldn't say that Ben Affleck is promoting The Flash. But yeah, that is kind of wild. Let's talk about the Ben Affleck thing for a second. So the movie Air, the Nike movie Air that Ben Affleck is doing, has a $7 million Super Bowl spot. And also it's being released in kind of a strange way. I don't know if you guys have seen anything about this, but I guess before you can see it in theaters, it's something like it's going to specific people. This is what Variety says. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon's Nike film Air to get $7 million Super Bowl ad from Amazon, plus unprecedented theatrical release. Amazon's about to shake things up. The studio is supposed to give Ben Affleck, Matt Damon drama Air an unprecedented theatrical release for streaming service. Sources say Amazon will release the film, which centers on real-life shoe salesman Sonny Vaccaro and how he led Nike to its pursuit of basketball phenom Michael Jordan on 3,000 plus screens domestically. In addition, Amazon is planning an exclusive theatrical window that's comparable or even longer than those from major studios. So what does that mean? They're doing a 3,000 plus screens domestically and additionally exclusive theatrical window. Isn't that a theatrical window with 3,000 plus screens? I don't get it. The film debuts in cinemas worldwide on April 5th after its exclusive theatrical run. The Affleck helmed film will launch on Prime Video. It's a really big swing. I don't really understand the order of these things. It doesn't make full sense. It's a really big swing, says one source familiar with the release plan. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Netflix and Apple to follow suit on their big plans and how they release. So they're doing theatrical and then they're releasing it, but they're doing a full theatrical run and then they're releasing it. The aggressive bet on Air's theatrical appeal coincides with the hire of Sue Kroll, who recently took over the market reins at Amazon. And then also, like we talked about, $7 million Netflix Super Bowl ad. So this is interesting. It looks like it's doing a full run and then on Amazon, which it says is unprecedented, but like, is that unprecedented? I feel like a lot of people have done that, or maybe they've done shorter runs. Like Netflix does those 1 week runs. I'm not sure. I do not know, but I definitely want to see this. And I think that Super Bowl spot is way too expensive, but probably will help get more butts and seats. What do you guys think? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Okay. Ash said, I had more caffeine yesterday than I did in all of 2022. I think I had 3 cups of coffee, a large Baja Blast, and then way too much Mio in a water bottle. I haven't slept in 45 hours. Oh my God, Ash, please go sleep. You got to take some kind of like, what are those natural sleeping pills that put more whatever in your body, or like steam or something. You gotta woo-saw. Joseph Ashley says it can be actresses or actors that you want to work with and admire at your table. Okay, so it would probably be Charlize Theron, Meryl Streep, Viola Davis, Jake Gyllenhaal, Simu Liu. Those are some of them. Those are just some off the top of my head. Also in the streamlabs.com/RCStar, Sean says, got a great laugh out of, I don't do that often with regard to parenting content. Yeah, because I really don't do it, but like I do sometimes. Allegedly, I watch some NFL games that way, especially the ones that are home that I don't get out here. But I don't do much that way. It doesn't make me comfortable. Gacko Gacko says, I have a home server for all my Netflix leeches can connect to remotely, and it will count them as being my home network, so it won't affect me, but I'm still canceling it out of principle. Wow, you're going to cancel your Netflix. Damn. Wow. Ash says, I have Netflix through T-Mobile. I split Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN bundle, and Crunchyroll with my girlfriend and my best friend, Amazon with my sister and parents, HBO with my sister. The only ones I pay for myself are YouTube Premium and Twitch Turbo. You have YouTube Premium? Is that how you watch your TV? I use my brother's Xfinity. I use everybody's everything, guys. Mike K says, obviously the important question here, with you being with some of these guys, have we found a new micro penis to talk about on the AMAs? LOL. No, not so far. Not so far. I'll keep you guys posted though. Let you know. Yeah. Okay. So other things that I wanted to discuss with you guys, again, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, super chat in, getting your questions, comments, concerns. Kyrie's a little fucking bitch. Literally, that's the long and the short of it. Kyrie's a little fucking bitch. He's requesting a trade and like really fucking over his team as he fucked over my team. He never fucking learns. LeBron wants to try to scoop him up, I'm sure. He just drives me goddamn nuts. You think the earth is flat and you are anti-Semitic. Like, those just are facts about you. And on top of that, people were so pissed that Boston booed him this week when he came back. He like spit on us. I mean, he like is so fucking rude about Boston and stomping on Lucky, which I don't mean to be all dramatic about, but like, so people booed him. I would boo him if I saw him in the fucking streets. You fucking don't like Jews. I'm never gonna have a problem with you, like, people booing Kyrie. I just can't fucking stand him. And like, watching what's happened, if you were a team owner, why would you want him on your team? He's willing to leave his best friend. He's willing to leave a team that's lost other people just to keep him. What's tough is that he's so fucking good. He's really fucking talented. So obviously, when you are skilled, teams are always going to want to have skilled players, but you lose a lot of your value in the fact that you're a fucking prick and you're difficult to deal with, and you rarely apologize, and you think the earth is flat. And you're an anti-vaxxer, my dude. Like, I just don't. I would like, not that the Celtics would. He would never go back to the Celtics, and the Celtics would never have him. But like, if he was ever coming back to my team, I would be so pissed. He feels impossible to fucking root for. He just feels fucking impossible to root for. And that's like the way the cookie crumble. I can't. The flat earth thing, right? Like, what? The flat earth, I'm not calling him a Holocaust denier, but I'm not calling him a Holocaust denier. Like, I'm not saying that's what he said, but that's what he fucking posted. I would like to hear what he actually fucking believes. If you don't think the earth is round, you think it's flat, how do you think that works? What do you actually fucking think about the Jews? Just like, give us the tea, sis. Anyway, that's honestly all I wanted to say about Kyrie. Just like, people who ain't loyal ain't fucking loyal. It's true in life in so many different areas. Ash sent in the Streamlabs and just said, Kyrie's a little fucking bitch. That's it. That's the tweet. I know. Like, you're just a little fucking bitch, bro. You're just a little fucking bitch. Delacommon says, I posted in the Discord about what I've had to deal with online dating, and it's very tricky with sex and just everything. Yeah, it's really tricky. So last night, and again, I'm going to try to be cautious with some of these stories so that I'm not like giving away things about other people's personal lives, but I took Canada to the premiere with me. And it's the first time I've taken a date with me to a work event since my ex. I am like the online dating part of things, I hear you, because like, you just don't know anybody. And so this is the first time he met anybody that I know. And like, I feel like because I met him online, which has never happened to me before, you're always just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, one of your friends to be like, oh, I know that person. He blah, 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 blah. Or like, do they have a whole different life? It's just so, people can just lie and like not be who you think they are. And you just have no verification process on so many of these things. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, like, it's just difficult. I feel you. I definitely feel you. Ash says, every proper streaming service I use is paid and used by 2 or more people who live in different cities. I would drop any of them if they wanted me to pay more for the devices or users, or tried to prevent usage in multiple locations. But then what? You wouldn't watch, or what would you do? Because like, I can't not watch some of these shows. Leonard Kim says, "Happy Friday, Dimpletits. How's everything going? This completely tracks. Kyrie gonna Kyrie. He must be an arsonist because he loves burning bridges. Why stay on a team that's a 4 seed and playing well when you could just screw them over? Dick bag." I know. I know. Totally. Like, why, bro? Why? Ash says Kyrie's a little fuck. Oh no, I already read that, but I'm gonna read it again. Ash says Kyrie's a little fucking bitch. That's it. That's the tweet. You should actually tweet that. And it deserved to be read twice. It truly did. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Gakko says, "I'm a Mavs fan, and if we trade for him, I will lose my shit. Luca will hate him." Oh, Doncic. I think that I'm trying to think of literally anybody. It's only LeBron that will work well with him. LeBron fucking loves him. LeBron is like the only reason I feel like LeBron waiting as long as he did to say anything. Like LeBron stands up for him. LeBron's like, that's my guy. LeBron wants him, and he's probably the only one. Ash says people who legitimately believe the earth is flat should be laughed out of any room, not humored or paid millions of dollars for putting a ball in a hole. I know, but it's kind of like what James Gunn said this week, where it's like, he was like, I don't agree with everything that everybody who works for me, what they say. If I like had to like think about every single thing that they said, I don't remember the exact quote, but he's obviously talking about Zachary Levi apparently having issues with Pfizer. So it's like, I don't know that how we would get it to be at the point where if you are a flat earther, an anti-vaxxer, an anti-Semite, or 5 million other things, you don't work. Like, what do we do? Just ostracize them from society? I don't know how you and what makes that list? Is it only if you're doing something that hurts other people? Do all those things hurt other people ultimately because you don't believe in fucking science? So other people take their cues from you because you speak well. So people think you're smart when you're fucking not. Lots of questions, little answers. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Get in your questions, comments, concerns. We're here for a little bit longer. And I've loved talking to you guys today. We talked about a lot of different things. Yeah, that's true. Sam just said this is a long live with Roxy. I know. It's been a minute since I've done gone through entertainment news and tangented and whatnot. So I wanted to be with you guys today. Hopefully that doesn't bother you. And yeah. Yeah. Okay. So from on me personally, because you guys know I like to be open with you. And unfortunately I can only be open to a certain extent because other things and people and legal and shit gets involved. So it's difficult when I can't be 100% transparent with you guys, but anytime I can be 100% transparent with you guys, I am. So I'm going to be as close to transparent as I can be, which is that yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of something really horrible happening to me. And I can't go into details, but the way that I'm going to start to label this, because I've alluded to things so many times, is that I had a really fucking horrible stalker situation, which has lasted this entire year. And has been very, very scary and unbelievably stressful. And the reason I wanted to bring it up is because yesterday was really hard for me because I feel like I put my life on hold for an entire year because I was just feeling extreme fear. And I'm still feeling extreme fear. But fear in a way that I just really struggled to move forward or discuss anything or do anything or be a person or take any kind of risk at all. And I I think that sometimes we don't stop and realize like how badly different incidents can affect our life and that we might really not be living our life. And one of the things that I wanted to say to you guys, just in case this rings true to you, I don't think most of you guys have had an extreme stalker situation, maybe some of you, but you guys have all had different things happen to you. And one of the things that my mentor has always taught me, Kevin Undergaro, he always used to say to me, don't be a double loser. And I know I've said that to you guys before, but the truth is that when somebody does something to you, you have really no say in that a lot of times. People are capable of doing anything to you. And sometimes you don't even have to let them. But then we are all capable of making choices after that. And if there is something holding you back right now from being the best version of you or making choices, taking risks, really living, fully living, because we only have one life, we really do, then really look at that thing and see what you can do to actually start to live your life and try and make steps to move forward and put things behind you. And that's it. I think that, you can only be so afraid for so long. You can only be so sad for so long. You can only be so angry for so long, so embarrassed for so long until you start to like shrivel up and be a skeleton. So I think that if you can choose to fight back, be you, live your life, move forward, make choices every day that help you to feel like you are not wasting a day on this planet, then let this be your reminder to start doing that if you can. It's very difficult, but at least to try. On that note, I am going to get out of here. I'm taking any last minute Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Send them in. Would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for being so supportive today. Ash in the chat or in the Streamlabs says, I'd have no problem going back to torrenting all my content. I might have 10,000 hours of pirated content on personal devices already. Oh my God, do not get caught. That's scary. Also have a server so I can give access to everything to my friends and family, and it'd all be in one easy place. Wow, that's wild. Ash says, also, the reason streaming services took off and legitimately devastated the Pirate Bay and other networks is because they were more convenient and the price was worth it. For the past 4 to 5 years, they've been pushing themselves over the convenience per price. Yeah. But like Netflix has one version where it's still $7, but then they've got other versions where it's like $20. And it's like, Della Common in the streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, nothing really to say other than you're fucking dope, Roxy. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I definitely try. I feel like some people being dope comes very naturally to them. Not to this girl. I work really hard to try to be decent. So I appreciate that. And oh boy. All right, my friends, thank you for being here. Thanks to every single one of you. And a special shout out. Thank you to every person who showed up today, but a special shout out to everybody who Streamlabs in. This has been a very difficult time for a lot of people, myself included. So those of you guys who are allowing me to be here, Della Common, Ash, Gacko, Leonard Kim, Andrew Thomas, Mike K, to Sean, Joseph Ashley, Erica, Austin Kramer, Steven Summers, John Lestrina, Mike Joyce. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate you. You're making it so I can get through to this time and continue to do the show. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And to everybody who has been here, you guys fucking rock. Okay. So much love. Stay safe, stay sane. Put down the toilet seat and the lid. We don't want those buffoons. Don't trend with the Holocaust. I'm looking at you, Kyrie. Justice for all the people who've lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice, wherever you're on the rainbow, we love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. And to Glenn Caesar, I used to call him the mascot of the rock stars, but he's just really, I know we're all thinking about him every day. He's got all of our hearts and golden sparkles to him. And to all of you guys, get out there, really work to live your life. Don't let anybody take that from you. And I will see you guys maybe Sunday. If not, next week. Okay, later.